Wait, they're making Advanced Warfare 2? That's crazy! Is what I said before the leaks were debunked. And now I'm sad because Vanguard 2 is a possibility again. Oh dear. Hello, welcome back, my name is Gordon. So, even if they're not making Advanced Warfare 2, we don't know for sure. I wanted to talk about the possibilities of this game, because they did get me quite excited for what could come. Not only for COD multiplayer, but also Warzone. It could get quite interesting with futuristic weaponry, let's just say. But before that, let's address one of the big elephants in the room. Advanced movement or not? Okay, so if it were to have advanced movement, I would much prefer if it was like Black Ops 3. Not like OG Advanced Warfare. Reason being that, because of the extremely vertical movement that Advanced Warfare had, that game could be quite more disorienting on our current modern displays, because, well, guess what? They're mostly horizontal. If you use a vertical display, you're not playing video games on it, it's probably for chat, for streamers if they have a second monitor. But you don't play games like that, do you? No, you play games on a horizontal screen. A vertical as heck movement like Advanced Warfare doesn't work all that well at the end of the day, and that's why it was quickly scrapped, and they went for something a little more friendly towards horizontal displays, like Black Ops 3 and Infinite Warfare. And honestly, I preferred how those systems played a lot more. I didn't even play it in its prime. I really bought it like a couple of years later because I was curious if it played good or not. And I wasn't convinced. I truly wasn't convinced. I much prefer Black Ops 3 system. So I would go for that. But if it were to not have any sort of advanced movement at all, or very limited advanced movement, like having those dodge moves on the ground, I think that would be fine. I honestly wouldn't mind if it didn't have advanced movement, because that's not even the part that interests me the most about this prospect. No, it's the weaponry and the equipment, the gadgets, the extra abilities. Look, not having advanced movement doesn't mean that they can't have exoskeletons. Exoskeletons can still serve in terms of lore, in terms of world building, so it still makes sense to equip soldiers with exoskeletons for every other aspect, not just the boost jumping. Okay, let's go over the equipment first. So, one of my favorite things about Advanced Warfare was, for example, the spike ball that they had, which resembled the throwing knife. You throw that at an enemy, you kill the enemy instantly, but then you could retrieve it. You could pull the ball towards yourself. And in that trajectory, you could also kill enemies, if I recall correctly. So it's like a double throwing knife. You throw it, and then you retrieve it like a magnet or something, and it still kills enemies. That's cool as hell. I would love to see something like that. I'd love to see more kinds of creative gadgets, different kinds of grenades. Oh, remember the smart grenade? Yeah, that was also a cool thing, how you could change between different types of grenades on the fly. Come on, give us that! That would be really nice. It doesn't make sense to have in something like Modern Warfare, but in a futuristic setting, of course, go nuts, go crazy. Put all kinds of nonsensical equipment that is just plain fun. Why not? And I was also thinking about the exo abilities. For example, exo cloak, exo hover. The idea was that those were limited time use. Those were reliant on a battery charge that would only recharge upon death. And yeah, limited use abilities, which, if we're going to translate those into how Call of Duty works currently, those could work really well as field upgrades. Heck, you could even do more interesting things like Exo Trophy. I'm sorry that was a thing. That might have been a thing, I don't remember, but instead of throwing down a trophy system on the ground, you become the trophy system. Or at least have the possibility of throwing it or applying it to yourself, because why not, right? That would be cool that you, the objective player, you are now the literal shield of the team because you have a trophy system on yourself. How cool would that be as a field upgrade? These things can just be incorporated easily because guess what? It's the future. It doesn't matter. That would be really cool. Extra abilities as field upgrades, I think, would work quite nicely. You could even have this, like the battle rates that you have on Modern Warfare. You could have Dead Silence. Actually, nobody likes Dead Silence as a field upgrade, but you could still have it. It would make even more sense then. And that's not even the coolest part. I think Gunsmith could benefit quite well from a futuristic setting. So I want to take the EX-1 for example. We had that in Vanguard, so we kind of know how futuristic weaponry would work with the Gunsmith. But for example, if we take the Gunsmith 2.0 that Modern Warfare is bringing us, so we include this whole receiver thing, which I think all future titles are going to have to incorporate somehow because everything is going to be tied up to Warzone anyway. So I was thinking, for example, in Vanguard, one of the most influential attachments on the gunsmith is the barrel. The barrels basically change how the gun works completely. In the case of the EX1, it turned it into different weapons altogether. It made it a burst rifle, it made it a DMR, made it an SMG, made it a sniper. But these things could be translated much better, I think, into different receivers that have much more different statistics. Like, for example, the SMG configuration of the EX1 in Vanguard sucks. It sucks. It doesn't deal enough damage, and it has this stupid charge up time. Like, it doesn't shoot immediately, it needs to charge up for a little bit and then it fires. Maybe we could have a receiver, an SMG type receiver that has less charge up time and has faster fire rate but has more hip fire recoil. And then the barrels, you could just have different barrel lengths that fix some of these problems. Like, it could be a much more versatile gunsmith that Vanguard already offered for the EX1. And then you could also introduce different types of ammunition, which could be represented by different colors of lasers. So you have like a blue laser that, I don't know, has armor-piercing properties or something like that. I don't know. You can just come up with whatever crazy idea you can. Guess what? It could still work, because it's the future. Why not? Why not? Now imagine this. Imagine all these crazy fun properties that you can apply to all other types of guns. And then imagine all the crazy kinds of guns that you could have. Advanced Warfare had some of the most creative weaponry in the whole series. Unfortunately, they were never all that good. Everything was overshadowed by the BAL, unfortunately. But you had like 5-round burst SMGs, you had the... I don't remember what it was called, it was the 3D printing assault rifle. Like, imagine that on the gunsmith, dude. Oh my god, that would be so insane. With different receivers, like 3D printing SMG, 3D printing sniper. And then, or you know what would also be cool? You could even incorporate the energy weapon mechanics from Infinite Warfare as different kinds of ammunition. You could even have like different kinds of energy systems. An overheat mechanic, like the energy weapons in Advanced Warfare, or you could have the auto-recharging technology from Infinite Warfare. The energy weapons in that game, you shot them, but over time they would regenerate ammo, basically. You could incorporate all of these different energy systems from the 3 futuristic Call of Duty games, and then come up with even more kinds of crazy ideas, and put them all in a sandbox of complete and absolute nonsense. And it could still be fun. They could just get all kinds of creative, and this is something that many of the futuristic Call of Duty games kind of lacked. Black Ops 2 was pretty standard for a futuristic title. Black Ops 3, same thing. What separated that Call of Duty apart from the others was the movement system more than anything, and then some of the DLC weapons were pretty crazy as well. Infinite Warfare actually had some of the craziest weapons. Like, I remember this double barrel SMG. It was like a double barrel MP5. Like, come on, that is so cool. You could have all of these nonsensical things back in a futuristic title. There's so much to go off right now that I don't think it would be too hard to just pull some of the coolest ideas from across the series, from across the futuristic games, and put them in just one single multiplayer. And why not? Just why not? I think it would be really, really nice. So these are mainly the reasons why I would be really excited about an Advanced Warfare 2. And I hope that this is the direction that they do go on instead of Vanguard 2, because let's be honest, who cares about Vanguard at this point, right? The things that were leaked, other than, yes, it was Advanced Warfare 2, was also that it would be COD 2025, which would give COD 2024, the next Black Ops game, only 1 year of life cycle, unlike Modern Warfare 2, which is going to get 2. So I don't know how these things are going to work, but no, I hope that if they make Advanced Warfare 2, is COD 2026. And just so that Sledgehammer has plenty of time to just make whatever they want and not be restricted by time periods, or not look like jackasses for making a 10 attachment gunsmith on a World War II game where it doesn't even make sense to have a gunsmith in the first place. So yeah, other things that were leaked today were the sort of premium map pack of a best of series of maps for Modern Warfare 2 for year 2. I think that would be a nice solution to not having a new game, but I'm also still of the idea that they should make a huge overhaul type patch for that game that also includes support for that DLC. It would be weird to, after 3 years of not splitting the player base with map packs and whatnot, to return to that model, but because it would be like 1 year after, I don't think that would be the worst idea. And of course, all of this with the intention of bringing fresh new content to Modern Warfare 2 and bring back the player base. Other than that, man, I really want Advanced Warfare 2 to be a thing now. I would love it. God, I wish Charlie Intel had not debunked the leak in the slightest. It was so cool. I was really happy to hear that. But anyways, it is what it is. Hopefully, we just don't see Vanguard 2. That's all I don't want to see. I don't want to see Vanguard 2 at all. Please, Sledge, don't make that. Don't insist. You failed with Vanguard. Don't try again, please. Go to the future. You clearly want to do that. There's so many mastercrafts in Vanguard that are futuristic. Just make a futuristic game, please. Okay, that's it. Thank you very much for watching, and please like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. And yeah, I'm gonna get good at this end card thing someday. I promise. Okay, that's it. Goodbye.